Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous coming to you with some Silver League Sexiness out of the map Metalopolis. Spotting up here in the top left-hand corner, we have CDZNuts as the Red Terran. And over here in the right-hand corner, we have ETSlimJim as the Blue Zerg. We see CDZNuts actually not really, showing the immaturity of his name and saying good luck. I guess fun is not part of the Nuts community area of specialty. He just wants luck. He's good at luck. That's all he does. It would appear that CDZNuts is just going for the standard along with ETSlimJim, so I'm going to dive right into quick announcements. Tonight at 8 p.m. CEST, aka Eastern Time, plus 1 hour, or minus 1 hour, whatever. It's Central Time, 8 p.m. Central. Me and Kadoink are going to be doing a commentary of the SC2Clans.org Championship League Division. I forgot to actually look up the team names, so I don't have those currently. However, it's going to be tonight. We're going live at 8, maybe like 7:55, just so I can be like, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm probably going to stream it over at twitch.tv/boisteroussc2. However, that might not be the case. If it is not the case, I will be sure to post in the forums. Of course, I'll be spamming all over the place that we're going live with it, so it should be fairly easy for you guys to figure out, what the plan is. It would appear that that SlimJim is actually kind of being a dick. He's, trying to stab this SCV, and it's SCV. Oh, where was that drone? That drone was fighting the barracks. That's not the most efficient way to take down an SCV. I mean, fighting the building that he's building, it takes a while. You're going to need to destroy that building, and then, of course... Oh, yes, 15 hatch. Yes. I know it's PVT, or ZVT, and that's kind of like the standard build. However, I still love to see 15 hatches. Everybody should 15 hatch all the dang time. That's really the only way to roll. It's 15 hatched up, bro. 15 hatched up. It would appear that we have an orbital commands coming up, the barracks, the second barracks, so we might see a bit of two barracks pressure. Might be a bit annoying for SlimJim to deal with, especially if he loses this Overlord, which it would appear that he is most certainly going to lose that Overlord. That's going to supply block him for a little bit, and getting supply blocked in this matchup is very, very annoying. He should probably start spawning in another Overlord ASAP, to be honest. I think he's just saving up for a queen. However, is this speed from this Overlord actually going to get it out of this base? Wow! Ooh! God, that Overlord. He started here. He ran across the entire base. Overlord speed OP. God, Blizzard, that was not a smart decision to give Overlord speed like that. And I think I just heard a Skype noise, but I'm going to suppress my innate curiosity about who just messaged me. I'm gonna shove it down, strangle it a little bit, and just like bang it into the table. It would appear that an extractor is coming down for SlimJim, so he's going to be getting that gas pretty soon. The real question is it going to be soon enough to deflect any sort of pressure that comes out from CDZNuts? Because I could see a very fast marine tank push coming out from this, and especially if he lifts up this barracks and switches the tech lab with the factory. And marine tank pushes before you have speed are impossible to deal with. I can't think of a time where any Zerg has managed to deal with a marine tank push without speed, and without, like, roaches. But that's kind of obvious. I mean, like, Zerglings without speed. He is getting speed up right now, so it might be up in time if this push timing comes. And actually, it's going to be Reactor Hellions. So, I guess this Terran player is just completely making me swallow my words. It's going to be Reactor Hellions, maybe a bit of dropping action on those Reactor Hellions as we do see this starport coming down. The two Hellions are being produced. Another reactor is coming down to outfit this barracks so that he can just keep hitting that A button until he wins the game. SlimJim is going for his lair, which is going to come up here in approximately 1 minute. And yeah, there's the metabolic boost, about halfway done, so it should easily be able to outpace any sort of Hellion attack, which is very good, because even though Zerglings aren't efficient against Hellions with speed, they are much better against them when they do not have speed, because Zerglings without speed versus Hellions die. There's no other outcome really. We have 5 overlords coming up, which I have to admit I am prone to this kind of thing too, where you're just like, oh god, I hit my food cap as Zerg, spam overlords, and then when you're done spamming overlords, you're like, spam units, spam overlords, that's not an ideal way to play, to be perfectly honest. You want to be heavily on one overlord in production at a time, get that food up steadily, and then maybe as soon as like a bunch of larvae pop off, you build 2 and then 3 at a time until you hit that 200 supply cap, because honestly Zerg does use up a lot of supply very, very rapidly. We have a Spire coming up along with a Baneling Nest, so we might see Blingling Muta, which, that's a pretty good strategy. He is noticing that the expansion has not yet been taken for this Terran player, and honestly that's one of the scariest things I think for any Zerg player ever, is seeing that a Terran has not taken his expansion, because then it's like, shit, what's he doing? It's Banshees. It's Banshees. I know it's Banshees. It has to be Banshees. That's how I always react, at least. I think I might just be crazy. However, are we gonna see yeah, this is just gonna be a massive Marine tank push. Is this? Yeah, of course. He's just leaving this thing on there so that he can get stim at some point in the future. Okay, alright. So if anybody wants to post in the comments why the hell you would do this, or whether or not CDZNuts is just not that intelligent, which of course CDZNuts, I still love you because you sent in this game, I believe. Either that or it was SlimJim. I don't think he was mentioned in the email. However, he got Concussive Shell. I understand that like Concussive Shell doesn't cost that much, so you might as well always get it. However, he doesn't have any Marauders. We have a harassment group of Hellions swinging in. They're going to be roasty toasting some drones, and then they're going to be diving out with actually some beautiful micro that those Hellions lifted off just in time. This Hellion is, of course, very close to dying. It's in the very, very deep red. It looks like there's going to be a bit more of a drop over here. However, that's kind of just suiciding your Hellions. And your medevac, actually, because of these Mutalisks. He probably should just run with those Hellions after getting those kills in the main base. How many workers did he manage to kill? 8. That's not awful for 3 Hellions. It's pretty awful for 3 Hellions and a medevac, but, I guess it's kind of breaking even. So, I won't be that angry at you right now, CDZNuts. Oh, and he's finally getting Marauders. Thank God, those Marauders can counter the roaches. The roaches that are coming out from this roach warren. you don't need Marauders in this situation. You really don't. I mean, they're kind of good all-around units, but it's a waste of gas that could be used on tanks. I would really rather prefer those tanks to be popping out than the Marauders, because tanks can eat Baneling bombs better than Marauders can, and Marauders don't do anything other than eat Baneling bombs in this situation. So unless you plan on splitting them up away from your Marines so that they actually do soak Baneling bombs, which most people don't, let's be honest, it's not worth it. I would definitely say definitely not worth it. ETSlimJim, yeah, stockpiling his overlords. I actually thought this was a flock of mutas for a second there. However, all of his mutas are with his main army force. He has a lot of minerals. He should probably get a macro hatch up and running. He has a queen spreading his creep, which is, of course, the best thing to do in this situation. You want as much of that creep as possible, and this creep is actually almost halfway to his opponent's base right now, so that's really nice. I love seeing creep getting spread at an efficient rate. He has the Zelnaga Watchtower, so he has great map control at this point. The Terran force really doesn't want to push out anywhere beyond his base, otherwise he would risk, getting this giant army toppled on top of him and dying. They need centrifugal hooks. That would definitely be good, because centrifugal hooks, of course, speeds them up to a point where they're on par with Zerglings and Mutalisks. And that's a very important part, because if you don't have that, then your Zerglings all run in suicide, and then your Banelings all run in suicide, and then everything dies. Everything. On your side. Maybe not even on your opponent's side. It would appear that we have a bit of campaign playing happening here, with actually a ring of turrets around the base. Because this turret is defending everything in this vicinity. Everything. Look at, God, that is an efficient turret. Don't place turrets here, people. I understand that that's how you did it in Brood War. If you like to play versus the computer and you were like 7, such as I was, but don't do it. You really shouldn't. It would appear that that turret is actually being extremely efficient. I can't believe they actually swung in and went for that turret. However, extremely efficient is not efficient enough, and we are going to see some engineering bays go down here. Where is the main force of Marines? Oh, they don't have stim. That is not good. These Mutalisks are going to do way more damage than they would have if these Marines actually had stim. But, you know, that's kind of the norm. Is this engineering okay, alright, the SCV is on the way. The hero SCV is coming over to rescue that engineering bay that looks kind of like a tiger waiting to pounce. Is like, thank God, man, thank you so much. It would appear that we have the infestation pit up. He's not researching pathogen glands, but, oh, centrifugal hooks. Yes, there we go. Finally getting them centrifugal hooks. I do believe that this was just to get the hive up, and it looks like we are going to see a Broodlord blade coming out from this guy, and not quite yet. He doesn't want to rush those Broodlords. He wants those Broodlords to be, you know, he wants them to be later in the game. That's his late game strategy. It's not his mid game strategy. We have the massive army from ETSlimJim that is mainly comprised of just straight Zerglings, and these Mutalisks are kind of just floating above head. There's only 7 of them. That is not a significant mutable. I'm guessing he's just, you know, saving up supply so that he can eventually build them Broodlords. It would appear that he's going to go up to 63 drones, which is still it's still a fairly low number of drones. And it looks like the Overlord farm is almost complete. The fat flying cows are, of course, being extremely effective. CDZNuts is, oh, he's moving on to creep. Oh, centrifugal hooks isn't done yet. That might actually be the saving grace for this Terran player. Never mind. Nothing could possibly be the saving grace for this Terran player. Wow, that was a massacre by the Zerg player. That was extremely well done. CDZNuts just really didn't have enough tanks there, to be quite perfectly honest. You need tanks, you need them sieged before you move on onto creep. Otherwise, the Zerg wall will just absolutely kill all of your units. CDZNuts' entire base is going to get ransacked here. I don't know what he's planning on doing, because as soon as these banelings get up here and hit this wall, I mean, the production is already encamped by Mutalisks. Now, of course, Mutalisks are not the most efficient production campers. However, that doesn't even really matter. They're just going to murder everything. They're murdering all the things. The natural is, of course, going down. There's no secret bases for CDZNuts. The Zerglings are diving into the main base, doing so much damage. I would be surprised if even another round of units got out of these barracks before they all went down. And the Zergling pillagers, yep, they're in there. They're in there. They're doing their damage. A couple more Marines pop out. They pop out into a terrible world. They pop out and they're like, "Where is everybody?" As they get torn down by the Zergling hordes. And there's the GG from CDZNuts, and he leaves the game. Alright. Well, I would like to thank you all for watching this production by Boisterous. If you want to watch any other games, that is an awesome barracks explosion. You can head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. If you want me to commentate your games, and you definitely should send them on in to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Remember to look out over at twitch.tv/boisteroussc2 for us to go live tonight at 8 p.m. Central. You can also follow me over there, and you definitely should. And you can post in the Battle.net thread right below here to try to get me more viewers, because I don't want to post on Team Liquid yet because I haven't made enough posts in other random threads. Alright, and with that, I bid you all adieu for this video. Have a great Memorial Day.